whores and whiskey.
Say it again.
Save the rest for whores and whiskey.
He concluded that they murdered his wife. That his wife was the one who was going to be carrying the money
Don't you know?
to Hunt.
Okay. Oui. Oui.
Oi. Oi, said the master to the graveyard shift. Oh, what you can't do for me. I'm getting there. Had my last appointment. My prescription changed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had went 3-4 years without the same prescription.
Wow.
And I felt pretty good about it. But then he said, "Yeah, we could bump that." I'm like, "No, can't I do exercises or something?"
There's our theme.
I want to buy more carrots. Carrots. Carrots.
I'm hearing you.
We don't hear nothing. How about carrots? How about now?
I hear it now.
You hear now.
I hear now. Beautiful sounds of WGBP.
Petey Green. Boom, 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 boom.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Excuse me, I was having a cheese attack.
Cheese it.
You like crazy cheeses? You like
what?
Like brie and blue?
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah. Yeah, I
great.
love those.
I love fucking cheese.
Yeah. Brie, like nice, like stinky cheeses,
Yeah.
like spreadable. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
The creamy, milky, buttery stuff. The camemberts.
Yeah.
They're pretty fun. I mean,
They're great. Every once in a while, we'll get to a restaurant that has it gives you a nice cheese and sausage plate and stuff, and all the funky cheeses.
Yeah,
I
love
like
it.
it. And I can do that whole thing.
a couple of salamis, little jellies.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
Little,
beautiful stuff.
Yeah, those are fun.
My wife
the
can't
board.
stand it.
The
Yeah,
board.
yeah, you get the cheese board.
Yeah,
My wife
cheese
can't.
board.
My wife doesn't like cheese that doesn't come out of a plastic wrapper. She doesn't. Everything. She like good old fashioned American
That's it.
cheese, which
Slice.
is great.
Yeah.
Which is like
Sliced
if you're
cheese.
making burgers.
Yeah.
Nothing's better on a burger, in my opinion, than
Kraft slice.
Kraft slice of American cheese.
Milk cheese. Yeah. Milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. My wife doesn't like cheese at all.
No.
Except macaroni and cheese. Like she can eat cheese on macaroni.
And she wants like 3-4 cheeses in it.
No.
Oh no, she just wants straight up cheddar.
Yeah,
or
she just likes. I guess if she doesn't think about it too much, she doesn't like any dairy, cheese, milk, eggs, none of it. None of it. She can't do it.
it bothers her when she eats it.
I think
or?
the idea of it bothers her more than the taste. Like she just doesn't like it. She doesn't
Oh, okay.
like it.
Okay.
Like she can't. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I know she likes her steaks like solid.
Burnt.
Like
Burnt kills me. It drives me nuts because I'm a I like my shit medium.
well, yeah, this is medium. Yeah, like a nice little medium rare. Get a little taint of blood in it, and just that's. I mean, it tastes better. That's you don't. If it's well done, you don't taste steak.
This is true.
You taste charcoal.
I've had a pretty steakful week.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks, I've been fucking at every steakhouse you could possibly imagine.
Yeah.
Well, not every.
Well,
take
I
that
know,
back,
but
but a couple.
You just share.
So I went to I'm gonna fuck his name up. Nusret, Nuris,
I have no idea.
Nurise, the sprinkle guy,
Oh, that's just,
the Turkish fucking the Turkish. He's a Turkish steakhouse. Pretty fucking good.
was it.
Pretty good.
Now, was it anything outside of a steakhouse?
No.
Okay, that's the
So-
thing that I get about all that little. I mean, it's good show, and it probably it adds a couple bucks to the bill.
Yeah.
And, stuff like that. But
But the picture is on the wall. Like they got the guy's picture on the wall, and it's sprinkle me. Everybody's fucking sprinkled. Everybody's shirts sprinkled.
got salt all over.
Yeah,
it.
it's like, all right, man. Salt ain't that great for you. I mean, it's
That's right.
Kinda
Take it easy.
kind of fucks us all
I got
up.
high blood pressure. Just
Right.
take it easy on the salt. I don't
right. Just spare us a little bit. Spare us the details. But it was a great little vibe, and then we went to another day. We went to Fogo de Chao.
Oh, okay.
Have you been?
I know of it. I have never
Oh my
been.
goodness! It's like you know, there's Brazilian churrascarias where you flip the top, and
Right.
red stop and green go. And I tried to keep mine on green for a little while. Couldn't hang, man.
At some point, you got to tap out.
I had to tap out, man. It was just, and someone told me, he says, one of the guys, he says, hey, you gotta remember these places, the fattening, the fulling fatty shit comes out first, and then the big steaks come out at the end. Like
so you gotta
chill,
strategize,
right? Chill, so then they said, oh, you guys can go to the salad bar, you know, the bar, salad bar, and it's got tons of stuff. And on the salad bar, I had so much stuff on it, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, and there's meat. And they just kept bringing shit out.
Just keep bringing it out.
They just keep bringing it out. Yeah, it was pretty fun. Went with a couple of guys from the job, you know, and, you know. A lot of the guys in the field, we don't get to see each other. You know, a lot of guys don't know each other, see each other, so it's good for the holiday time. It was great. And then my boss from LA came out, and, you know, it was all good. Everybody's kind of bonding and spending their money.
When you go, when you're spending somebody else's money, it's great.
And then I went to Frankie and Johnny's. I did that again.
Good steakhouse.
I went there. And then I went to Royal Steakhouse, which is a Albanian.
An Albanian steakhouse.
Yes, I didn't know that most of these Albanians have a lot of steakhouses.
Okay.
And Royal's on 35. It's kind of a quaint, cute little corner. I mean, like
little
in
corner
the
spot,
cut, it's not corner. It's in the cut of 35th Street off of 5th.
Okay.
But man, they take care of you.
Yeah. So small spot.
It's small. Yeah, it's kind of one of those narrow, skinny.
If you're not paying attention, you'll pass it.
Yeah, you will pass it for sure. Or you would be like, there's nothing special about it because the name you don't recognize. Like Royal, come on, it's simple, you know. So my buddy goes there all the time, and he's you know, he's got a fucking plaque with his name on it. I'm like, dude, all right, I'm impressed. You got me the first time. You don't need to pull it out again. Yes. He comes out, oh, it was reserved for Mr. Billy, you know, and I'm like, all right, buddy, you got me. Yeah,
I don't like Mr. Billy.
Yeah, all right. You did your damn thing. So what else is going on?
That's good when you got your own place on a steakhouse.
Oh, I was totally impressed. I was like, how do I get my name?
Exactly.
I was like, and I was like, what's the number? What do you get to come here 10 times?
Right.
You know, 15 more times.
You get a punch card.
Right. Something like that. I mean, you got to have some kind of perks. But
Capitol Grill has it's one of those spots that has a
rewards.
It has a locker.
What?
It has a locker where you can keep like your own like if you have your own special bourbons, if you have like your own cutlery that you want to use for certain occasions. Yeah.
Are you serious?
So you can get yourself a locker, and and I think if you're there a certain amount of times, they'll put your name on it or something like that. Because if you go there, you'll see people with like their names stenciled in on it, and that's usually a guy that has like a special thing of whiskey or a special thing that he has there,
or like he bought a bottle there and he keeps it.
He wants to keep it there, and it's only for there.
That's
and
fair.
Stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
It seems like what's happening in restaurants, you would probably notice more than I would, but it seems like the things that are on the higher end are doing better. Like high end and low end are doing well.
Yeah.
Everything in the middle is getting sucked dry.
But this is the middle class.
You know,
this is what's happening with the middle class.
Maybe that's what that means. Maybe that means that everybody's doing a little bit better. You know,
but you know that concept of medium sucks. Like I told you we did the theater up in Toronto, and the guy was like, "Listen, man, seats and all that stuff is important. People need to be comfortable, whatever else. Don't invest too much in the screens. We rent them. They come and go. You know, Toronto Film Festival, bring in their own. Everybody's going to bring their own. So we sell popcorn and soda, man." And I'm like, that's it. He's like,
that's where your money is.
Popcorn and soda, man. All day long. He said, medium is the gateway to large, or... panty up, nigga. Like, man up. Medium is $4.95, right. But a large is just 50 cents more.
50 cents more. How big is your penis?
Yeah. And there's a whole science behind this thing about, that's why they show you the three things, put the price next to it. I saw it on Brain Games, actually. I saw it on Brain Games, and it was like really the science that, I mean, damn. Preying on everybody's
it's a psychological
treat myself to the large.
It's a psychological thing.
Yeah, medium popcorn is like this, but the big tub of fucking greasy popcorn.
Did you see the thing where they talked about where they showed, I don't know if they did this in Brain Games or not, but where they showed the sodas, and how
Yes,
the sodas are no different.
Yeah,
There's no different between small, medium, and large. It's all the same
cup,
amount.
The amount of ounces, right?
Right, it's the amount of ounces. It's the same. It's the
Skinny
same
cup,
amount of shit.
tall cup.
Right.
Boy, they really.
And they load it up on ice, and then if they serve it for you, or you get it yourself, and just
Yeah.
which means you shouldn't be drinking the shit. That's essentially,
Kind of, yeah.
you kinda-
That kind of defines that. Hey, man,
just to take it easy on the goddamn
Right.
soda.
Yeah, soda's bad, man.
It is.
I haven't drank soda. I mean, like a real soda, like a Coke. I used to love a crispy Diet Coke.
My thing was Pepsi. Yeah.
Yeah. You like Pepsi over Coke?
I chose. I think probably because when I worked in worked in restaurants and stuff like that, they always had Pepsi. And so I kind of lean towards Pepsi. And also I'm like I have an anti personality. So if I walk outside and 6 people have a Coke, I'm like, yeah, I want a Pepsi.
I want the other one.
Oh, you prefer Pepsi? No, I just don't want to drink the same shit as what you guys have.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So, good morning, Two Bros
Hey,
Podcast.
good morning.
Episode 46.
46 dot.
46 dot.
46
Wow.
dot on my medium coffee that I got.
Medium coffee.
It's a medium
Pete's coffee. I have this is not Dunkin' Donuts. I put some Bustelo.
Ooh.
So when my uncle's in town, he loves Bustelo.
Yeah.
So
great.
I like it too. I really like Bustelo.
It's great for espressos, and if you like Cuban coffee,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's great if you could get the right mixture. I have a problem like teaspoon, tablespoon, and I'm like,
yeah.
fuck it, put a lot
Just
more.
throw it in.
Just throw it in, look at the color, you're mixing it, and then I threw some bourbon in here. And,
There you go.
And a Bailey's, because I was cooking the bird, and I had the bourbon, so I said, all right.
This, cooking and drinking just go, for me. Just cooking and drinking just
Kind of goes.
go together.
Yeah.
Like if I'm cooking something big, and if there's a bottle in the house, I'm drinking it.
Yeah, why
And it's
not?
just-
I mean,
you just sip, and a bottle doesn't. Hopefully, it's wine. I'd love to go through. I don't want to go through a bottle of bourbon or whiskey because that makes for an interesting night.
Yeah.
Bottle of wine, I'm okay.
no, bottle of wine you could do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty. It goes hand in hand. You're right. It is a good combo.
Yeah.
Especially when I cook a lot, like I'm nibbler, so I just nibble on everything along the way.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you wind up getting full anyway. But,
Yeah. Yeah, you look at it like you get that long salmon, and you say, "Yeah, we really don't need that piece on the end."
I know. And that's a sampler,
That's right.
which is what I'm getting today. I was gonna buy it yesterday. I was in the market yesterday. I went to the fish market and was gonna buy 2 sides, but then I had so much shit in the refrigerator for tomorrow.
Yeah.
For Christmas Eve, which we are on the eve of Christmas.
Christ Mass.
Yes. Pretty interesting that it just crept up on everybody.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, you feeling Christmassy? I mean, you feel the neighborhood like you feel. How about you when you shopping in stores for sure? You're always gonna feel it there, right?
No.
Yeah.
But I like going through and seeing like people like houses decorated
Yes.
and stuff like that. That's,
For sure.
That's kind of that makes me feel good.
That I like. Yeah.
That makes me feel. I think it changed since I had Miles. You tend to like look at things as like an infant would look at them.
Okay.
And so
makes sense.
I'm kind of like looking at these because a couple years ago I was like, it's like so what?
Yeah,
What
so
difference
what?
does it make?
What do
But
you
now
really-
I look at it and it's like, oh, that's really pretty, and that's you go to some neighborhoods and some neighborhoods really take a lot of time to get their house done right.
Yes.
And so sometimes you look down the street and you see a string of houses done up real nice and stuff like that, and you can get caught up in the commercialness of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get a little carried away, but just for that one time to just be a little bit brilliant, be a little
creative.
creative,
I like the creative
be a
part
little,
of it.
a little showy, little,
Yeah, but
it's not
I have a
harmful.
friend who owns a Brothers Hardware store on 38th Street. Shout out to Bobby and his brother.
Okay.
2 old
38th
guys.
and what?
38 between next door to Blaggers. Next door to Blaggers. Robbie and his brother own not two bros, but Brothers Hardware.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do an episode there. Brothers Hardware.
with
Two Bros.
nails.
With nails and hammers. And every year he hosts a appreciation kind of lunch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's in a hardware store. You're sitting on paint buckets, and mind you, this is a Fifth Avenue Manhattan hardware store, which is about an alleyway, a sleeve, and you're literally like on top of shit, and people are like, people. It's open. The store is open. He takes his back little office. He throws some beers and coolers and stuff, and he buys cases of booze, and bottles just keep, you know. It's like, oh,
for who? For his
for
employees?
his customers.
Oh,
his
really?
Customers, yeah. Like, so he does like an appreciation day.
Okay.
So he'll tell people, like, you know, that he knows. He'll say, hey, you know, today's appreciation day. Oh, okay, great. And he'll do a spread. Lasagna,
nice.
Chicken. He orders it from someplace, you know, crazy or something. Catering. Good food. You know, he was always, Oren, bring your girls down. Bring everybody from your office. Come down. Say hello. You know, stop in, pay, you know, thanks for your business and support. And I don't use them I use them for like trinkets in the office. So, I need a doorknob or I need something. But he has, you got to look at the whole block. It's buildings. So every building super like comes out. Hey, Bobby, I need I need a little screw for this and that. You know, so they come down back and forth. And so he shows his appreciation. And one of my projects was building right across the street, which was the Archer Hotel. So first things first, I introduced the engineer to him. I said, but you go to him anytime you need something. Okay, Oren, no problem. It was love-hate relationship. He was like, yeah, they rented me for a couple of grand, but so what, you know. You know, they get used to the ordering on the fly. I'll be right back. I'll put this on my bill.
And never...
And I'm like, dude, he's an old school paper and pencil guy. So he's got ledgers that he just fucking 2 screws from Jimmy, flip a page. And I'm like, dude, man, this computer's like...
Does he have a son?
No.
No?
I think he has a daughter, older, but they're not in the business.
Not interested in the business.
Yeah, and I think the brother's the same way. And these motherfuckers come from Staten Island all the way here on the bus. They live very menial, and you know they run this store. They've been running the store for 30 years. Lala filmed an episode in there.
Oh, really?
On her show. What was that?
Lala's World?
Something like that, yeah.
So, yeah.
They filmed, they were doing a charity for...
Lala's New York or...
Something like that. She was doing a charity for some group, and then they wound up going to his store to get things to build something.
Does he own the building?
No, he does not. He's a tenant. So eventually his lease will...
Eventually, he's going to get...
I bring him up only is because he's has Parkinson's. And so now, as he's getting older, he's very, you know, he's shaky.
Yeah.
But he knows. I mean, he's in the bar with me every day, so it's like,
so
can't be that bad. He said, "Nah, this is my calm place here. This is where I
get rid of that stuff.
Right, this is where I get rid of the shakes." He says, "I'm shaking when I'm not drinking." So I'm like, "All right, I see wherever your point is." But I say this to say is he has an amazing fucking house in Staten Island.
Really,
and this motherfucker starts at Halloween. 1 piece, 2. He started from Halloween to like, you know, Thanksgiving, end of Thanksgiving. He's set up. He got a fucking choo-choo train running through.
Wow.
And he asked me, he was like, you got the little camera to go? I said, yeah, the GoPro. He says, I want you to, maybe you could film it because he has a town. He replicated his town. He replicated his whole town with the bakery shop, the store, with little models. This fucking guy could barely fucking hold his hand straight. But when he's in his little figurines, this motherfucker.
That's amazing.
Like it's his shit.
That's amazing.
It's his quiet space. He loves it. So shout out to Rob. I know his last name. I don't even want to do that.
That's amazing.
But he's an awesome guy, man. He's
So he's inflicted with Parkinson's,
yes,
but
and
he can do the most minuscule. What would take a lot of patience and a lot of stillness to.
And the train goes through it. It's
amazing.
And his comment, he's always like, "This is what the town's supposed to look like, not this other bullshit retro shit. Not this stuff they have now. You know, all these.
There's no Starbucks here.
Right? Yeah, he's like old mom and pop days. He's really old. It's kind of like that movie with this guy, Steve Carell. Have you seen the previews for this?
Oh, I've seen it. The guy that makes like replicated.
He made a fake town. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. So he's dreaming like a daydream. I struggle with the name of that.
Marwin's?
Yeah.
Marwin's World or something like that?
Marwal.
Like he got a brain injury because he got beat up and then like
is that what it was? I thought he had a bomb go off or something. Oh no, he was attacked.
He was attacked. He was attacked and I think it gave him like he had to sort of like rebuild his life, and so he did it with rehab figurines and built stuff and whatnot. I'm interested in seeing. I like Steve Carell, you know. I like Steve Carell and I like his movies, but I'm interested in that thematically what that means.
Yeah,
like you know, you rebuilt your own world to supplement the world that kind of like
screwed you.
You know. You know, but I wonder if that's I don't know. At some point you got to deal with the real world.
True.
You know. So
True.
I'm not hating on it because I didn't see the movie, so I don't know what that means.
Well, it looks fun. It looks fun. It looks original. It looks like looks like something. You know, that's what we always strive for, is looking for something original, because everything's a rehash of something from before.
Right.
So, what else is going on? Yeah, man, the holidays just seem a little weird, a little off-kilted.
It seems like it seems like we're gonna be done with this like really, really quick.
Well, look what happened with everything else. Like Thanksgiving came and went.
Yeah.
Even Halloween. I don't even count Halloween, but even Halloween, I guess maybe they're all falling on like Mondays, like
right.
Well, Halloween on a Monday,
early in the week.
Yeah, I like it more festive at the end of the week. Like
it seems like you build up to it, right?
You build up to a Friday, then you get the yeah. It's pretty cool. Are you off? Are you
Christmas Day?
Yeah.
Yes.
Eve?
No.
Okay, no. So you're going to work Monday.
So I'm going to work Monday. It's going to be an early day. It's going to be, when I look at our calendar, it's going to be a light calendar.
Yeah.
We're always going to get that one phone call about somebody who needs to do something like right now, and it's going to be at like 2:00 in the afternoon. Yeah. That's just the law of averages.
For me, like in construction, and no one's like nothing's happened. There's no, although Friday, I get this weird, strange email. It's like, or we need you quote, 3,000 rooms on the so and so, and I'm like, everyone's gone.
Everyone's gone, right?
There's no estimators. There's no and everything. All of a sudden, it's like a Chinese fire drill. Mm-hmm. So it's weird, Sometimes I guess people were trying to get it off their plate before they
leave. Right. That's what usually happens.
Right, because once they send it out, they send the request out. They get to say, "I sent it."
I sent it. Right.
Right. I sent it. I'm off. You know what I'm saying? But the holidays are. I down at Rockefeller Center. We were at Del Frisco's. I tell you, I was doing this. Mm-hmm. It's been someone's party every day. Like
Del Frisco's is nice.
Del Frisco's is nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Del Frisco's is nice. We go there. Oh, we go to Del Frisco's and it's freezing outside and it's windy and all that stuff. And the tree is, right across the street.
It's right across the street.
So you can see it through the lobby of the Del Frisco. We were just at the bar, actually, and one of my guys from LA office was here and he was like, I don't see any of this stuff. I just, So he was like, my buddy was like, yo, come outside, let's go here. Mm-hmm. He opens the fucking door. Some guy at the bar goes, oh, shit, fuck that. Lock that fucking door right now. But he didn't know we were all together. So he was like, no, fuck that shit. Lock that door. That shit went up my back. I'm getting a cold right now. I feel it. And I was like, all right, buddy, take it,
just relax.
These guys are seeing Manhattan, for the first time or whatever it is.
Yeah. And it's wintertime.
Right.
It's wintertime and you're sitting by the door. So
right. You got the cheap seats, bro. Sorry to tell you.
Right. In the wintertime, you wonder why there's always a couple spots by the door.
Right. That's why. And so you get that draft, man. That's right. So, it was just a funny instance. But, I'm not, since we hang out at Rudy's a lot, I'm not a fan of the $12 drinks, the $13.
Yeah.
It's just no fun.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no fucking fun. And then, so I cheated. I went on my way home. I said, all right, let me stop. A guy told me to meet him at Juniper's, right?
Juniper's.
It's on 35. It's behind the train station. So he says, oh.
I think I've seen that. Okay.
I said, look, I'll probably be at Trax because if I miss the train, depending on what time it is, it's easy. I can grab a beer and watch my train.
Back there, look and see what train's coming in.
Like, I don't enjoy the canned beers anymore. Like
a can of beer?
Like, I don't enjoy it like I used to, like, because I kind of like the bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like being at the bar, you can kind of just down it, you know what I'm saying? Drinking a can of beer at the, in the Penn Station, while you can do it, because it's available. I used to like that.
That you can do it,
I can do this. Right. I'm allowed to do it. That was the one thing. But then it's just like a fucking, it doesn't give me anything. It doesn't give me anything back.
Well, you could do it anytime.
Correct.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it's because you could do it anytime. And I don't know. Something about opening a can of beer is like, it's like significant of something else. Like, for instance, okay, so maybe you wouldn't do that when you're coming from work.
Right.
But if you were working all day at the house and then
stop for
time to time stop for a beer, Hearing that,
I got chorus.
when you got, that's
banquet chorus.
It means something.
It does.
It has a significance other than just like drinking a can of beer.
Yeah, well, nothing better than cracking a cold one when it's hot or when it's just you've been worked up a little bit and you kind of have a cold one. But again, not a fan of the expensive drinks. I've never come through tracks through the other side, which I just did the very first time. I didn't even know where I was. I think I came the back way, like some weird, crazy way, and I said, "I'm here."
Yeah, it's by like where track 13 is, or and you can get it to it from there. Yeah,
I was like, "What is this?" I said, "Is there two of them?" I had no idea.
Yeah.
And it's more like a diner on that side.
Yeah, it's more the restaurant side.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, I've never been here. I never went past the bar. I never went past Trish.
Went past the bar."
I'm like, Trish, what do you got? And funny thing is Trish, Trish, the bartender there.
Mm-hmm.
She has a cousin, so I didn't know. He's I'm standing room only. I'm at the drink rail. I grab my sit over here, standing there waiting for my train. I could peek out and see the numbers. And this guy comes over and he's like, the British Irish accent or whatever else, and he was like, "Hey, not a faggot." I was like, "Ooh, I haven't heard that word in such a long time." I was like, "What?" He said, "I'm not a faggot, but I like the hat and jacket. Nice look." He's like, I was like, "Okay." I said, I was kind of still stuck on faggot. Like you said the word. I'm like, "Whoa, that's like the record stopped." Like, he said faggot. That word does have a huge impact. I mean, the records will stop.
It's It's like you want to hear the whole thing.
Like,
you want to. Yeah, right. You just don't want to hear faggot. You just want to hear the whole thing. What do you say?
Fucking faggot.
I want the whole paragraph. And think. Yeah, it's one of those. It's. You can't even. What I don't like about it, when people get upset about all these words, that you can't even say it in jest in making fun of the word.
Right.
Like the guy, I
know. I'm just gonna say. Go ahead.
The guy, what's his Argod Sad, Argod of
Gad Sad.
No, not Gad Sad.
Oh, the other one.
Archon, the guy that got kicked off of Patreon.
Yes, Patreon.
The guy that got kicked off of Patreon
for saying the N-word.
For saying nigger.
Right.
But he was not. He wasn't calling somebody nigger.
He was describing.
He was describing. Right.
He said something is like. It's like saying nigger to... Right. So it was a reference.
He was using it as a reference and stuff like that.
Calling a black guy nigger.
Right.
And...
Which is totally, to me, is like total bullshit.
Well, that's educational. I mean,
he was using it as an example. It's kind of like the same thing that happened to the Papa John's guy.
Yeah.
The Papa John's guy, say what you want about the Papa John's guy. I personally think he's a dick, but, regardless. But he was, he called somebody the N-word. And so, it raises your cackles up. Yeah,
but
then when you realize that what he was doing was he was giving an example as to what not to do,
right?
And he used the word nigger, and then all of a sudden, oh, he's gotta go.
It's almost like a crapshoot now.
Yeah,
it's like you roll craps, fuck, right. You go in the dungeon.
Right.
But I need another dungeon.
Right.
Dungeon.
Did you hear what I said? So all you heard was the word nigger, all you heard was the word faggot, and then that's it?
But I do agree with most of, and I heard the commentary on that same exact on another podcast, Joe's podcast, and it's just as a double standard. So he said the same thing, and he says, so Dave Chappelle, 40 million, Cat Williams, 12 million. Chris Tucker doesn't curse anymore or whatever else. But all the black guys, nigga. But you can't, God forbid you're of a little melanin, you can't say it. I mean, it's such a double standard that has gone beyond a double standard. And I think that the people who fight for it don't even want the fight. That's not our fight.
Yes, yeah,
right. We're not fighting for that.
And
we're fighting for the justice part of it, the social equity of it.
The guy.
I don't know why was this.
Just to say that you're going to use the word in certain. It's all a matter of perception.
Yes.
Like you don't walk into a job interview and say, well, you know, I had problems at my last job because them niggas over there didn't, you know, they didn't understand what was going on. No, you don't. That's just
Right.
not. You just don't.
It's not a thing.
You don't do it that way.
Right.
And then you can't also set people up, which is what other people do. Who's the guy? Who was it? Is it Chance the Rapper? I can't remember who it was. One of the hip hop dudes. It was Chance the Rapper or somebody else. I can't remember who it was. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But he has a part where he brings somebody up on stage. It's almost always a white girl to sing lyrics with him.
Okay.
You know, and they sing lyrics and they blah blah blah, and there's a segment on it where it says
she
nigger.
said the white girl.
And she said and the girl said nigger.
Right.
And then they stop. So, well, you can't say that at all, and kind of like shame this chick in front of 25,000 people in the concert. And it's like, well, wait a minute, these are the lyrics to your fucking song. Right. I know she loves the song, but she can't say this word that you wrote to put in the song. What kind of shit is that? And then you brought her up on stage to sing the damn song,
as if it didn't have.
As if it didn't have it. So. What kind of how are we gonna play this? How are we gonna play this double standard? Which is why I always say I can't be a person who says you can't say that word.
Right.
There's an appropriateness to it, and if we're sitting in a bar, I mean we've been in a bar and I've niggered up a few times, and I have no problem with it. But at the same time, I have to respect it. If somebody didn't like it, if another dude came up, say, yo man, this what's up with you using the word nigger? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I can understand. It's the same thing if you F-bombing all over the place.
Well, 100%. I had a young lady at my job. She used to, she went nuts because fuck this guy is he's stupid. I can't take this. You curse so much. Like she was just like, I just can't, it's not professional and you need to stop. Mm-hmm. And I'm offended. And I was like, what did I say? Mm-hmm. Like I didn't know what I said. And she was like, you speak so vulgar. You're such a, she said animal,
mm-hmm.
And so my feathers went up. I'm an animal now. I'm an animal. Animals don't, last time I had never heard a fucking donkey call you an asshole. You call him an asshole all his life. You calling him a jackass. He never deserved that name. Since the Bible, you have been calling him a jackass. Which one that motherfucker come back and say, hey, I ain't no fucking jackass.
Hey, you know how hard it is to lift all this shit?
Carrying your fucking bag. You the fucking jackass. But she used to get, and she'd be like, cry.
Mm-hmm.
Cry. Why do you have to curse it? It feels so dirty. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I won't.
I feel dirty.
Oop.
Wow.
Oop. I'm like,
that's
beep.
Tough. Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do, man. All you can do is just, but then the bans. So then the flip side above it is like she'd go to HR and say he says this. Yes. And so the next time he says this word, he should be fined or whatever. Or that shit you ran into when you talked about when you were in Toronto.
Yeah.
When you said waitress. So, hey, I need the waitress needs to come back. So what?
What? You gender shaming.
Yeah.
But so the censorship is really getting
out of hand. It's getting ridiculous. Because who gets to be the judge?
Right.
Who gets to be, and unfortunately a lot of people want to say that, well, our government should be the curator of that. The problem with it. Yes. No, we don't want that. I don't want the government telling me what I can and cannot say.
We are. This is the Cyberdyne era that we all know we're approaching, right? Mm-hmm. Where the computer takes over, or the metaphor of Cyberdyne, which is the machines are going to get
the machine, right? The machine.
So this engine, this social engine, is going to be the death of us. It's really gonna somewhat destroy us. It's gonna make us implode. We're projecting so much of our being to a photostat, to a world that doesn't deserve life, like a digital world, right?
Right.
So when we look back at it, we go, "Oh, I see what I said, and I'm sorry."
And it also doesn't have as much any advancements in technology that we've made.
Mm-hmm.
It put you in contact with other people. So regardless of what happened, we forget that the wheel was technology.
Correct.
We forget that the microwave was technology. We forget that being able to use string and sharpen steel, that was all different technology.
Yes.
But using all of that, doing all of that, still puts you in touch with other people. I think this is the first time in which the technology that we have
Pulls you away.
is pulling us away from human contact, and we're sort of like you said, we're sort of like throwing it out there and allowing it to make sort of determinations that we would have to make on our own. Right. Whether you're a decent human being, or maybe I need to tone down my language, or you know, if I want this girl, maybe I need to act a different way, or if I want this job, I have to. All of those things that we got because we had to interact with people. Right. And you know, because if you went through your day, and 10 people told you, hey, you know, you gotta take it easy on the language, on the fuck yous and stuff like that. Right. Then hopefully you'd go, you know, maybe I need to curl that down a little bit.
10th person fucking told me that.
Exactly. But if everything you do is via artificial intelligence and whatnot,
it's pretty bad.
And you don't have that reciprocal thing going back of another human being which we're supposed to be interacting with, then it sort of puts you in this, like you said, it throws you in this world to which there's no measure for it.
It's such a disappointing. Hold on, no wife, we're podcasting.
Doing the podcast
ting. No, it's such a disappointing facet of our life that we need this. Like, have you you saw me when I was watching, I was trying to point out that this guy, David Sheenan, does this whole JFK, you know, he digs really deep, and it's been out for years. I mean, there's no, you know, this has been the oldest conspiracy around.
Who killed JFK?
Yes.
Okay.
Not so much who, but why. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so the why, because we all know he's dead, so you take what you do know, right? Somebody killed him. Somebody shot him, whether it was this fucker who did it just because he just, whatever. When you dig so deep like what he does, he really takes it to another extent. But I say this to say is that if you go back to the speech he gave at the Waldorf Astoria in New York.
Who, Kennedy?
Kennedy,
okay.
Yes. It's a lot like Trump's fake news. He even calls it, he says, I'm not going to call this the president versus the media. I'm going to call this a call to be responsible in your journalism. And he literally goes after, he says, what you guys put in the paper, you have no, and he had this thing called Words Matter. Words matter. I never dug this deep into JFK. I never, you know, I heard it was
1960. We're talking over 50, almost 60 years
55 years ago. 50, yeah, so 60 years ago. So, I mean, I heard all the women things. So, obviously, the conspiracy in me goes, why would you promote that? Why would you promote that? Like, you know, the speech acts not what you do for your... That's just the end of it. The whole speech is about censorship, secret societies, government, shadow ban government, all this black ops. It's all about that. It's all about we as the people, the public deserve to know what's going on. You work for us.
Right.
You work for these people. Tell them, hey, there's a guy coming into your town. He's a nationalist. These are his views. Don't hide and see what he does with it. Let's figure it out and let's play him and then let's steer him this way and do all this shadow shit. That whole speech is up, and he says it right at the back. I'm not calling this a war against journalism. I'm asking you to be responsible journalists and report the news, the truth. It's not about selling
the objective
papers.
Truth, right?
You owe it to these people. They've given you their trust,
right?
In saying, I want you to tell me what's going on in the world, and everything you've done is done to shock value. Yo, go listen. I encourage anyone to go back and listen to that speech. He gave it in 1960, whatever.
I think 61. It
was 61. He died, 63? 60, whatever. We had this discussion last time. But I encourage everybody to go listen to that speech. If you want to hear about censorship and what's going on now, fucker had it right. He had it right. He was telling everybody. He was saying, look, and he said, I will not allow any agency, no matter what your rank is, no matter what branch of government, you're funded by the people, right. You work for the people. So if your money comes from this, you owe it to us to open your books and say, this is a guy we're looking at him, but he's terrorist, not terrorist, or whatever. And he even goes as far as to say it's a proven fact that not one of the counterintelligence. He said that the I don't want to mess up the speech because it was brilliant. I couldn't believe I had never heard this whole thing. He said that it's been proven to date during his presidency that the countermeasures are worse than the measures you're trying to protect us from.
It's one of those things. I mean, when you project that now, it's when the whole
bourbon's kicking in.
I could tell. You have to take when you hear things about like your secret service and the CIA and well they said this
right.
And then I think you always have to say, well, you guys are kind of like professional liars.
Right.
You guys are gonna.
Oh, maybe it is.
I mean, you've toppled other governments.
Right.
You've implanted other things so that other things can fail in our favor. So, when you say that certain things are going on, we kind of have to take that with a grain of salt and say, okay, well, what is like your interest in saying that? I mean, propaganda. I mean, propaganda is still the key, and we have no idea what that is. All we know is that okay, well, this is what our intelligence agency says, and if we didn't believe them at one point, why would you believe them at another point? And then why would you what changes? What changes? And what changes is the guy who sits at the head of the table,
the administration. Right, so you fall in love with it. They make you think this choice is somewhat of yours, and I voted for this guy. It must be the guy. Like there is a possibility that the guy you voted for is fucked up on that issue, but great on some other.
But great on other ones.
And it's like you have this live or die. It's like the teams, right? I always said this about my son in playing basketball. The coach, the guys he bet on, his starting five, he's got to live and die with him.
Right.
Because he chose them. So when my son comes in there off the bench, scores 15 points, they're like, sit down. You're showing up, my guy. Even though it's better for all of us. We win. The team wins.
Right.
No, you can't show up my guys. You can't. I got egg on my face here. I got to show that I made the right decision.
Well, it's happening when you go and we talk about politics because all of a sudden people think you should troll for a certain side and not willing to look objectively at other things.
Right.
You and I talked about this before. The last state election, I don't think either you or I voted for a single Democrat on the ticket. I know I didn't.
Right.
I know I didn't. And so
I did not either.
And so
libertarian and independent
and so when you go by and look, and if you want to look objectively at things, then you criticize it, but then you look at the messenger and you say you don't want to criticize the messenger. Well, then why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Why not? I mean, people forget that Obama fell in love with freaking bombing people.
Yeah.
He loved it. He actually ran out of bombs.
Yeah.
We took 2 conflicts we were in.
Yeah.
And by the time he left, we were in 7. And dropping bombs on places, and we killed innocent people in the name of that. So if you're accepting that and that's justified, then when the next guy says something that's kind of similar or to that vein, then if you're against it, well then it begs the question, well then what are you paying attention to?
Well, yeah, and I hear what I like what you said, but you also have to look at the same inference I just gave, like you're more worried about the stats than you are the effect of the stat. Like you'll do anything to make sure, like the bombings, right? Because you need the ratings. You need people to love you. You need people to like you're going the right way. So you start. The allure is not hey, I want to kill all these people. The allure is the people want me to do something. I'm at the head of the administration here. I have to do something here. And your advisors are whispering, saying, you know what, if you don't do this, they can call you pussy.
But is it the people or is it the people who put you in office?
Right.
Is it Joe taxpayer? Is it you and I?
Yeah, no.
The guy who makes an average income and pays a certain amount of or is it consultants?
It's consultants.
You know, Obama's whole cabinet was suggested to him by CEOs of Citibank.
Right.
You know, so if those are the guys who are whispering at him, saying, "Hey, you should do this," well, then it's going to benefit them.
Of course.
You know,
these guys make a shitload of weapons, man. There's Raytheon, there's Samsung. I didn't know Samsung was that big on fucking weapons, man. They make tanks.
Yes.
Samsung makes tanks. He had a fucking Galaxy phone, and he making tanks and shit. But this is what's so crazy about we're so fucked up. We're so disconnected, like we said earlier. We think we're more connected. We're more disconnected.
Right.
Than ever. And the wool over the eyes of the, hey, you know what? It's like we could sheeple. You know what I'm saying? And this is where the conspiracy guy always meets the social activist, where it's like, come on, man. Like, wake up. But wake up and do what?
Right.
So until we find ways to unify,
right.
And have human empathy and have, replace those neural pathogens that actually cause you to like and love someone. We can't love anything for longer than 48 hours. Like, I mean, it's hard. You could fall out with somebody in a week. And a relationship that you've had, fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him. There's another sucker. There's another customer coming. I don't need this guy. He's pissing you off. Listen, I go through it all the time. I have people that are like, and I'm supposed to be I'm supposed to be the service provider, and yet I'm turning around saying, fuck this guy. Fuck this customer, man. This guy's a pain in the ass. Well, what the fuck you open for? This is like the cake, making the crazy cakes.
Oh, more gay cakes.
More gay cakes.
I think they're trying to get that guy in trouble again. That same guy.
The same guy?
I think the same guy.
Wow.
I think I read something where somebody went into his shop and asked him to do something, and he refused, and then now they're trying to say you don't like LGBT, which kind of like flips it, kind of flips on its end now, because now, with the thing we talked about earlier with Patreon. Okay, so now Patreon,
I never knew what that was. What is Patreon?
Patreon?
It's a site?
Patreon is basically a funding site.
Okay, all right.
It's a funding site.
Okay. It's like GoFundMe.
Basically, yeah. I mean, we can put up our own Patreon account, and basically you're telling the public, hey, if you like this stuff,
pay me.
Send a couple bucks, $5 a month, or whatever. And a lot of people who have high profiles, they use Patreon to get a lot of funding.
But I heard it was some sort of violation between like PayPal, Venmo. Venmo is PayPal or something.
Well, they said it was a violation, and the guy we're talking about, Saga, and I can't get his name right, Sargon something, whatever. They said it was a violation, but they didn't say what the violation was.
Okay.
So it's one of those things. So, okay, so now we're upset with Patreon because Patreon, just decided to cut a guy's funding for no legitimate reason. So now, if you need to play by that same rule by saying, okay, you don't like that Patreon did that, well then don't use Patreon.
Don't use Patreon, right?
And so the what? I can't remember this guy's name now. Mark Rubin, the guy that does the Rubin Report, and people like Jordan Peterson and people like that who use Patreon a lot.
Well, they call these guys something. They call them the IDW.
IDW,
Intellectual Dark Web.
Yeah, something that...
who fucking made that up?
I don't know. I think Rubin did.
Yeah?
Yeah, Dave Rubin, I think is his
Rubin
name.
Report guy.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because now now, what I fear that they don't realize that they're being lumped into a militia. Like, that's like a militia now. That becomes you're an organization now.
It's going to because it's going to attract unfortunately it's going to attract people who kind of like you don't.
You're an ideologist,
right?
You're an intellectual ideologist.
Your ideology now becomes the front runner,
right?
And
now the CIA goes, oh wait a minute.
What you're trying to do is you're trying to get a dialogue between people who you agree with and people who you don't agree with. But unfortunately, what happens is you get ideologues who get lumped into that who thinks that's. It's like, oh, they're, I mean, it's getting out of hand. The web, it's like it's tangling in on itself. It's like that snake that's eating itself thing.
It is imploding. I mean, I will say it's imploding. It's imploding to the point of, we still. I'm always particularly not fearful, but we still rely on the main platform, which is Google, Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
You know, the top. Look at this guy. Killed himself. HQ trivia. You ever played this game?
No.
It's a fucking game when it's an app. You download the app. It was the hottest thing ever. Shit rose up to $2 billion in open stock. It's the same guy that started Vine.
Okay.
Young guy, 34 years old, killed himself, hung himself, did a Kate Spade. Was that a billionaire.
Was that the guy who out in California he was like he was on a street corner and he like was high on something?
No. That's an old story. That's the guy from and he was acting like a duck and he was walking.
Yeah, and he was doing it, but he's a guy. He developed something. He made X amount of dollars off of something. I'm thinking this might be the same guy.
No, this is recently. That one you're talking about is like 5 years ago.
No, I'm just wondering if it's the same guy.
No, this is a young kid. He then again maybe I don't know. No, this kid was he started Vine.
Okay, but the guy started Vine and did HQ
trivia. Hung himself, man, and you know he's $34 million and. So either something happened, somebody pulled the wool over, and said, "Hey, man, by the way, we're about to pull you," or he's getting raided for
right.
stock exchange.
Like you really did some
could be,
shady shit,
or we've, all that shit you've been doing is all influencing Russian intelligence and blah blah blah, and
or couldn't handle it,
that's another one.
Or couldn't handle it. Could you? I mean, nothing really does prepare you for being tremendously successful.
Yeah.
Nothing really does. And I think the only thing, believe it or not, in my opinion, the only thing that prepares you for being ultimately successful is struggling. Like the only is understanding how all of this what will what will change if all of a sudden you didn't make $100,000 a year, you were all of a sudden making $1 million a year. What would change for you as a human being?
A few things.
It's the story. Well, it's the story of Noah's Ark. It's
Noah's Ark.
Yeah, the story of Noah's Ark. It's like a flood is coming.
Okay.
Something is coming to disrupt your shit.
Okay.
What are you going to keep with you so that you can survive that? So you can survive that.
I wouldn't.
And you need to keep the sort of the foundation of who you are and the things that you believe in, so that when those things come to you, you can rebuild that stuff back up again. So, all of a sudden, Two Bros podcast blows up, and Chad's on covers of stuff, and Chad's got $1.5 million in the bank, and his pictures always being taken and stuff like that. And every time you're out to dinner with somebody, looks like Chad's stepping out on his wife, and every time, and shit like that. And all of a sudden, he becomes a wah every time. Boom, boom.
Oh yeah,
boom, boom.
Yeah.
Every time. It gets to a point where this shit is more destructive
than
it's being hopeful.
Well, that's like DJ Khaled suffering from success and all of that other stuff. Like there's tons of where you've seen that happen. I think in the hood, the hood rich stuff. I would equate the opposite, or would equate it more to a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or a type of just different strokes. You can come into some money and all of a sudden you got different problems.
Right.
Different Strokes was kind of like that.
Two
poor kids could stay with this white guy and his daughter.
Different strokes to the world.
But they're fucked. Look how that fucked them up. I mean, those
Both
kids, they got fucked up. Dana Plato and
but
at
least Todd Bridges is alive.
Right.
Right. Dana Plato, she committed suicide. She
herself.
OD'd, right?
Yeah.
She OD'd.
Yeah.
And Gary Coleman, he had complications with his.
He was always had that liver stuff.
He had a problem with his kidneys and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah. It was always that afflicted with that.
Did you see the? This is like a tremendous offshoot, but did you see the video of? This was I don't want to talk about somebody on negatively, but he ended up being a security guard, Gary Coleman.
Yes.
And somebody had done something, and he caught him, and he jumped on their car. And he was on the windshield of their car, and this person was videotaping him or recording him on their phone. And basically, it's like, Gary Coleman's on the windshield of my car.
Oh my god!
As a security guard, and I guess he thought he stole something or something like that or whatever. And he's just sitting there. He's just You know, and that's got to be a mind fuck. So, well, why is Gary Coleman on the windshield of my goddamn car?
Oh shit, you Gary Coleman. But at some point when you talk about taking your job a little seriously, like now, we talk about empathy. You talk about self love and respect and all those other things. Do you have anyone that will jump on somebody? Is that today?
What do you mean?
Would you stop a fucking guy in a store stealing over? No.
Probably not.
I'm not going to jump in front of this psycho for some, corn nuts. He stole some shit or whatever. It's not. If you own the place, you're the proprietor. It's different. And I'm not talking about the bodega wars that are going on right now, which something needs to be done. Wars. The bacon, egg, and cheese war. Something needs to be done with those bodegas because they are the staple of the community.
Yeah,
and especially in those neighborhoods where you just need quick little eggs, you need stuff, and you need to go home and you live in a house.
Well, that's like the base of small business owners,
right? So one of the things that Schumer was, and not to switch the subjects too much, but Chuck Schumer, he's always involved in. And the other guy from the Cops Association. Remember we talked about the bodegas trying to get a bodega law passed or whatever else. And a lot of people make fun of it, but then it's so true. Like all they're asking, they said, can we carry? Like we should be able to have a gun. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, because everyone will die. Like
everyone will get shot.
Everyone that comes to the bing, ding, ding, nigga looked at me crazy.
You can't.
So as you still are bound by the New York laws, okay, they can have a shotgun.
New York laws are fucked.
New York laws are fucked. They're fucked. You can have a shotgun.
You can't have a pistol.
You can't have a pistol. You can't have a pistol. You can't have a handgun. You can put a shotgun though. But you try getting that fucker out fast enough,
Exactly. Yeah.
You got no wins in mi casa. You're better off just screwing that shit into the wall and hook that shit up with a string and be like, nigga, act up.
The gun,
poof.
Gun works.
Something like that. I mean, but at least what they're looking for is the panic button, which is, boom, I'm threatened. Hey man, take what you want. Camera starts rolling and automatically hooks up to the clouds.
So
that's what they're trying to get. But they're bullshitting because they're saying it costs like $100,000 per store. That's bullshit. This system is, as long as you got internet and Wi-Fi and all that other shit, everything else it's hooked up to your camera system. It's a simple router. That's all it is, a fucking router. And the shit is hooked up to a cloud-based server. And so now when you hit that panic button, your recorder leaves your recorder and goes to the server recorder. So it's keeping the image on the recorder. Because if I take the fucking machine out, I have the hard drive. If I shoot you in your deli and I go in the back and take your little device, I take it with me. I had no crime. Nobody caught me. But they're asking for a simple little button that just beep. You hit the button, the panic button, and it starts recording. And it's calling 911 at the same time. It's calling 911 to the location. We have a situation in the store, and they're telling the cops that what happens is that when they say, yeah, the corner of 49th and blah, 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 the cops is like, yeah, all right, we'll get there when we get there. They're trying to make this more of a priority when they hit that button to show that it's not just two people fighting over bacon, egg, and cheese. Right, these motherfuckers have guns. Like they're coming in here and lives are at stake. Too many times in the hood, it's been, they're just arguing. It's some chick busting her man. They fighting over quarter waters.
Right.
They think that it's such a little thing, but when you get a guy pull out a gun, and start him shooting in the sky,
that okay. I guess that explanation it seems reasonable, but I think the more reasonable thing would be is like to allow these store owners to carry a pistol.
Yeah,
in which you have to abide by the laws of the business. Yeah. You can't just like arbitrarily start shooting people.
Yeah.
When if you think somebody took a soda out of your thing,
yeah,
you have to be a responsible gun owner.
Yeah, and, it's tough.
Depending on your, if you have a record yourself, okay, maybe you shouldn't be carrying.
Well, that's what the laws. I mean, that's what everybody says. Well, shit, I got my cousin from Dominican Republic. He don't got a paper. He don't got this. He don't got that. So this is America. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we seem to forget that people have to stop being savages. Like, people need to fucking chill the fuck out.
Yes,
like,
yes, that's
like,
right.
It's not that serious. Like, you're really putting everyone at risk because you're having a bad day.
Right, right. And what bothers me about when we talk about guns is that we talk about guns as if that gun isn't attached to somebody.
Right.
That does it. And when, you know, the next time that it happens, and it's going to happen, you know, the next time somebody goes off and kills 3-4 people using a gun, we're going to have this debate about guns. And we're going to forget that, no, wasn't that gun attached to this savage motherfucker who, for whatever reason, went off and didn't matter if he had a gun or a knife. You know, in the UK, they're considering banning knives.
Really?
Yeah, because they don't have the problem that we have with guns. Yeah. But you have that same that same idiot who goes around stabbing people.
Yeah.
You know, and people want to make the argument, well, you know, you'll only get 6 people before they catch you with a knife, and you can get 12, 13 people with it. Does that really fucking...
Is that what you got from this conversation?
Right. Like, you can kill more people with a gun, so it's, you know, so killing 6 people with a knife is okay, you know?
Yeah, you know, society should step up. And again, this is what we said earlier. It's like we're so disconnected from our core values, our family values, our little empathy stuff. I mean, you know, just love and compassion and you know, because I get it, it's boring, it's corny, it's not, you know, it's not this macho, tough gun toting, you know, combat war zone. Like if you listen, you could watch one of these movies, take any combat movie, and you see a guy walking around in tactical gear for like 12 hours, 2 days, 3 days. He's chafing. He stinks. This is not comfortable. They make it look like motherfuckers walk around like, yo, I got the suit on and I'm wearing combat boots. No, his feet hurt. His balls are scraping against the leg of his thigh. You ain't fucking comfortable in that tactical shit. I don't want to believe that you walk around in tactical gear all day long, you know. Tactical gear. This guy's got a wedgie that's burning his asshole out. You know, you ever look at these old movies?
And all I want is a bacon, egg, and cheese.
You look at these old movies, or you think of like these old times, and I'm like, damn, they didn't even have degree back then. These funky motherfuckers. A bunch of, like in an old scene, these old Greek, these motherfuckers stunk. They smelled horrible. Yes. They smelled like frankincense and myrrh and all that other. Trying to put herbs.
Trying to put shit on you, like the
perfumes, and they sprayed all these,
leaves and shit like that. No, we take a lot of shit for granted. We take, we forget. Look, every time we turn on a light switch and the lights come on, we should be thankful.
Right.
Because this shit's hard to do.
Right.
It's not like...
Shit, it worked?
Yes, right. It worked again. You know,
I have some electrical problems here in the house, and there's a few outlets that don't work. It's pissed me the fuck off. Fucking... Wired this fucking house. How come that one works, but this one does? It drives me nuts. But go look at the things, like you said, you're so used to
shit working. And when it doesn't work, you kind of freak out.
Yeah.
For a second. We're so used to this damn phone working all the time that when it doesn't, we have a moment of...
I don't know what to do.
Right. Like, where do I get information from?
This shit happened to me the other day. And I think I was doing something and I had too many photos, or I was at long videos, like I was editing and doing something on my phone, and my shit froze and locked up. And I was like,
what do I do?
Okay. Yeah, but you know what it is? I was okay with waiting until I could fix it. People are calling me, yo, you said hello and I can't hear you. Dude, I'm not in control of the device.
Relax here a little bit. Jesus Christ.
So I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. And then they're texting me, and my keyboard wouldn't even come up. My phone fucking freaked out. It took a time out. He deserves it. Phone took a time out, man. And it was like, man. I'm like, dude, okay, whatever it is, call 911. If you sound like that, call 911. Don't call me.
Well, how many times because one of the things that we try to say is that having the phone is
helpful, convenient.
It's helpful, it's convenient, and in emergencies. Can we think of the last time that you actually... I mean, how many times has having that thing on you prevented something from happening or alleviated?
I know.
It's very rare.
Yeah, very rare.
It's very rare that that's the case.
Yeah.
Now, the one time you need it is fantastic.
Right.
The day it doesn't work is a pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
But we want it for. That's the reason why we want all of our kids to have them.
Right.
You know, that's what parents will say. So
I need to get in touch with you.
Right, especially when parents are at school. You know, I mean, or when kids are at school.
Right.
Well, you know, just in case of an emergency, how many emergencies are going to happen to which that will alleviate whatever issue it has?
Whatever the problem is. Very little.
Very little.
Well, you know, the saying is rather have and not need than need and not have. You know, it's the day damned if you do, then you don't have it.
You know, we try to say that safety is a primary thing, but I mean, is it really? Is it really? Like if I saw this interview with you know, remember who Mike Rowe is? The guy that did Dirty Jobs and
yes. You said he's fighting for something. He's doing he advocates for something, right? He's
more of a practical, like things like mentorships and no, not fair wages, apprenticeships and things like that.
Uh-huh.
Sort of getting to this point where, you know, everybody doesn't need to go to college.
Right.
Everybody doesn't need to go to college. Everybody doesn't need to this amount of debt,
right,
and stuff. You know, you can just as easily go to. We talk about jobs and whatnot. There are companies that'll tell you, said, look, I got jobs for people, but nobody comes to the door that's qualified.
Yeah,
you know, you'll train for a few months. You'll have a little bit of a salary for a couple years, but in 3 years, you'll make 150 grand.
Yeah.
If you do this, you know, mechanic's job or this heavy equipment operator job or stuff like that. You know,
tell people all the time. I mean, it's like they ask, "How'd you get to this job? How'd you get?" I work my fucking ass off, man. I put the time in. 24 years of being in this industry, staying loyal to one thing, and the idea of it having tentacles that, okay, I learned this part of it. How do I apply that to this part of it? Yeah. And I webbed it to the point where I said, all right, I learned this for 5 years, do that. Or mastered it, knock that out. This part here. So now I'm well-rounded in the hospitality. So there's very little things I don't know. And the stuff I do not know, I want to know. I still have room to keep going.
Few people want to start. If you listen to the kids in college now, few people want to start at the bottom.
No.
Few people want to start.
Well, this is the entitlement thing that we keep talking about all the time.
They don't want to start with a shitty salary, which you're, you know, if you're in a corporate setting or if you're in a big company. And hey, look, you know what? Your first job, if it's a job, not an internship.
Yep.
You know, your first job is you're going to make sure that his paperwork's okay. You're going to make sure that, and you know what? You might have to get some coffee.
Yeah.
Every once
in a while. The garbage is taken out.
You want to make sure that the trash
empty.
can is emptied, and you want to make sure that everybody's lunch order is good. And yes, it's a shitty job, but it's the build to something else.
Well, there is a flip side to that, is that there no longer does that entry-level job allow you to participate in society at a menial level.
Yes, so the cost of living, right.
So when all of our people before us said they swept floor in a barbershop or worked at a diner to pay for college, that is non-existent.
That doesn't exist anymore.
That doesn't exist.
That doesn't.
So somehow that corporation module took that away from us. And so now what they didn't realize is you took away the people's desire to take those jobs and participate.
Right.
And be acclimated and then work themselves up to it where they could have those stories. So they've robbed our children. They've robbed, you know, this corporate model of, you know, higher, just bringing the price inflation has robbed the youth of that experience. No one wants to work at a fucking sweep floors. No one wants to. But that was a job. That was something you had pride with, and then you learned from the master barber. You learned from the guy, even the shitty greasy spoon diner guy. You know, who ran his business with a pencil and a flip. You know, a short order cook. You still learned something from him, and you took some values away with it. That can't happen today. There's no guy you can tell go to work at a diner, a USA diner, and make a career out of, you know, he'll be something later. It's just so far down the rabbit hole because it's such a menial and dysfunctional job and so disrespectful now. The patrons don't even respect them anymore.
Well, that's another thing that happens because now
get me a fucking coffee.
Yeah, there used to be. Yeah, just you know, sometimes, you know, when you go, especially, and it happens a lot in restaurants too,
all the time.
Just when you just hear how people talk to other people.
Yeah.
It just baffles me.
Yeah.
How, Like I just never understand,
especially in service and food.
I just never understand, what do you get out of demeaning somebody?
Yeah.
You know, like, no, I said I didn't want so much ice in my water.
Yeah, take it back.
Take the water back and just get. Why are you being
another one? Why are you being bitchy? Yeah.
Well, and for me, to me, that's the person that I want on my side.
Yeah,
that's the person I want.
Sure,
on my, like when shit hits the fan, that's the person I want on my side.
Yeah.
I don't want to, okay, yes, it's nice to schmooze with the owner,
yeah,
and the guy and stuff like that. But you know what? The guy that's like picking up trash in the back and whatnot, if that person looks at you as an ally,
yeah,
then if shit hits the fan, that person's gonna make sure that you're okay. You know, some like the coffee cart guys who you see down the street.
I got my loyals. I mean, I got my guys that I go to all the time. I see them. I say good morning. I say hello.
Good morning. How are you?
You
know,
you do
you drop the change. You don't take the change back. You know, if a large coffee's $1.50 here, is
50 cents goes in the bucket.
You know that's the person I want on my side.
Yeah,
I don't really give a shit if the general manager of Starbucks cares about me. I don't.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter. You know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. And you said this many times. Like being respectful doesn't really hurt anything.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It makes me feel great. I feel fantastic, complimenting and being. It's funny. Okay, so perfect example. My Dunkin' Donuts here. I use the app, but it's the line is ridiculous, right? So the app is like boom. I go in, I pick see my name, okay, boom, pick my shit up. Sometimes occasionally somebody will take the wrong one or whatever else. And knowing the guy, he knows. So there's limited choices on the app for options, or if they don't have something that you clicked, they don't, what do you do?
Right.
So the kids that are in there, they go, hey, there's no donut fries. What do I do? So they make the coffee. I'll sometimes I have it set as I'm in the mood for cold brew and donut fries. You ever had these donut fries?
No.
Pretty fucking good.
Are they really?
I mean, they're donut. They're donut strips. I don't know what the fuck it is. Donut fries.
Donuts.
They're donuts.
They're
donuts.
Just long they're just different.
Skinny.
They're just donuts in a different form.
Yeah, they're just little bite-sizey whatever, and they warm them up for they're really
donuts
good
are
on the
fucking
go.
addictive. They're just sometimes all I want is a fucking donut.
Donut, yeah. Homer Simpson. But I say this to say is that the manager, who I'm friendly with and cordial with, hey, Bimo, how you doing? Whatever. Hey, I know you. Yo, he says so he'll put something in if it's missing. Hey man, no donut fries today, but I put in the glazed because I know you like that, and I know you gotta go for the train. Like he knows what I'm up against. That's hell of important to me because that decision to ask, well, what do you want? Do you want a bagel instead? Do you? I'll miss my train because I'm playing the edge, of my timing.
Right.
So the fact that you have somebody that can help you out a little bit and go, I know this. Friendly. So your neighborhood respectful. Friendly guy is,
Extending a little bit of service.
Yeah. Service is great, man. Service is
and you don't
very
get that.
Well missed.
You don't get that in usually you don't get that in corporate spots. Like
no.
I mean, you mentioned a Dunkin' Donuts, but the Dunkin' Donuts tend to be locally managed. So
yeah.
But you get those in like coffee shops and stuff like that. Like if you walk into there's a coffee shop I go to around work where they. Like, I don't even have to say anything. You sit down and the guy knows what you want, and he just asks you. And,
right.
You have a conversation.
Well, that's how this one is. This one here is. He goes, go. When I order something different, he goes, hey, what's going on with you, man? You okay? You sick? I ordered a tea the other day because my throat was. He was like, oh man, you must feel better, man. Yeah. But he knows, and he'll make it, and he'll be like, oh shit, I had it ready for you, but don't worry.
I'm now in a spot where the Dunkin' Donuts around my wife's job. They now, because I've gone a few times to get my wife's coffee, which we argue about a lot. I shouldn't say argue, no. But now they know me, so they know that I'm getting her coffee.
Right.
So
they'll hook it up.
Say, too Splendor, right? So,
right.
Yes, stuff like that. But my wife and I will, my wife will wake up in the morning, and she'll say, oh, God, I need to get coffee.
Right.
And my thing is like, look, we got a Keurig and a coffee pot.
Right.
Coffee's here.
You don't need coffee.
You don't need or want coffee. You want to go Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
You want to go get. You want them to make it for you because you want to feel.
You like the allure.
You want to feel a little bit,
You like it. You
like
the
special.
service.
You feel like you're special. You feel like, and plus it's a way to get out the house.
Well,
which is a good thing.
Sure. Anytime you can get out the house and do it. gonna say something.
I know, but you just cracked your neck. Probably.
Yeah.
You having a stroke?
No, it felt good. It's tight. What is having a stroke, cracking your neck?
No, I'm just.
Oh, don't tell me that. I was gonna say fuck. Fuck now. No, smelling toast is a heart attack. I guess they said.
What?
If you smell toast, you're having a heart attack.
What if you're making toast?
Well, that's what I argue with all the time. It's like, what if
So
you
what if you are making toast
and have a heart attack?
So if you smell toast, you're having a heart attack?
That's what they say. I mean,
okay.
I've just heard that before. Speaking of heart attacks, I watched the going into the movies and stuff that I watched a couple of great movies the last couple of days. I'm a night crawler movie, like everybody goes to bed midnight and I pop some shit on
in the middle of the night.
Yeah. So I watched. First of all, I'll give you my list for this week. Bad Times at the El Royale Hotel.
Oh, I didn't see that when it came out.
Fucking badass.
Good movie.
John Hamm, Jeff Bridges, Chris Hemsworth, and they introduced a new young lady, a black girl.
I've seen her before. She was
singer type.
Yeah,
she's singing. It's pretty fun.
Is it twisted at the end?
It's pretty fun.
Okay.
It's pulpy. It has a little pulp. It has a little time. You know. It has a little
plays with timelines.
It plays with vantage points. Like remember Vantage Point? Remember the movie?
Yeah.
With Forrest Whitaker.
So the same scenario, but through the eyes of this one person as opposed to this other person.
And so since it's a hotel, it'll call out instead of Act 1 or the so and so scene, it'll be Room 7. So this is what Room 7 was hearing, and you hear
at the same time,
right? You hear the shit going on in the back.
That sounds good.
It's fucking.
That sounds good. I wanted to see it when it came out. It was one of the few movies that I want to pay to see.
It's pretty good
when it came out.
So
that was one.
That was one. And then I always do like a new and an old kind of just to dial me back. And I watched The Mechanic with Charles Bronson and Jan Michael Vincent.
Wow.
Old school, 1972. You ever watch Charles Bronson movie?
You know, it's amazing how he was actually considered to be kind of like a sexy guy.
What the fuck?
And
this guy is like a hybrid Mexican kind of Italian guy.
He just had a very specific look to him.
He looks like a mouse.
I'll say it. Charles Bronson was ugly as fuck.
Ugly motherfucker. He's Machete 50 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, he was, and when he was young, when he was younger, he was in shape and all that stuff. Like had that Robert Mitchum look to it, that barrel chest,
the turtleneck.
But he had that macho look to him, but just was never just a good looking dude.
He was always squinch faced, like
but always played that role. Always was that guy who like didn't take your shit and you know will be quick to whip your ass if shit went down.
I watched The Mechanic and the guy said all of like 13 words throughout the whole movie. No, I'm like what the fuck? Don't do it. You think so? It's like his whole thing is dubbed. I mean, I was like, I remember this to be like a big movie, like him being a hitman and all this other crazy shit, and then Jan Michael Vincent was like,
I remember the name. I can't remember what he looks like now.
It was a pretty boy. He was like the Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise. I mean, he literally was like, he was gonna be a bigger deal than he was, and he never
turned out to be like that.
Yeah, he was one of them Hollywood kind of guys with the blonde hair, skinny face, and you know he played in like Airwolf, and he played in a lot of movies, man. Watch that. And what else did I watch? I watched something else too, which can't remember, so it wasn't that good. Save the Girls with Regina Hall.
Save the Girls?
Save the Girls. About as weird as a fucking one of them slow cookers. Like, you like, what the fuck just happened? You know, like, you know, you're trying to like, it's building, but it's not building. It's going slow, but it's like she plays like this waitress at a bar, at a kind of like this, like a Hooters, It's like a Hooters knockoff, and you know the owner is like this redneck country motherfucker, and you know one guy is the cook. He's stealing from the kitchen. It's weird. It's weird, and one of the girls gets into an accident and a bunch of shit. It's fucking weird. It's so weird that I liked it. That's what it is. I'm trying to say is that it's so weird that I actually enjoyed it, But overall, the average person gonna watch this and go,
What the fuck?
This is horrible. Like, so that was the other one. But other than that, man, I hate the fact that I watch so many movies because I'm consuming them faster than like, all right, but I will give it the time. I will watch it and go through it.
But it doesn't get rid of you. Do you get some sleep though? Jesus, no. That's the bigger issue.
Bigger issue is vamping, man. I'm a vampire.
Gotta get some sleep, man. Gotta get yourself.
I just do not. I don't enjoy sleeping. I don't.
You're unconscious. You're not supposed to.
I get it. I don't enjoy the act of going to bed. Like
no.
Like.
How much sleep do you get on average?
4.
How much? About 4 hours of sleep.
4 hours a day. Yeah, about 4 hours a day. And then there's some days I just crash the whole day. Like the whole, just zombied out, can't move. Just like, do I have to get up to pee?
You got up that. That's what I'm doing. I'm pissing a lot.
Yeah.
And I think I'm hitting that age where I always have to pee.
Yeah, and not a lot, but
not right, exactly. Like I always feel like I have to pee.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe that's just me getting older and just whatever. But I always feel I have to pee.
Yeah,
But 4 hours, man, you got to up that.
I just can't.
You got to try to up that.
Can't. I gotta
get to at least like if you can get to like 6.
Six is a good day for me. Like 6 is great. If I can get 6, it's great. I mean, I could normally do like from midnight to 6.
Get your sleep, man.
If I go to bed,
water and sleep.
If I do neither of the two well, so neither of the two well. So that's my downfall. We'll get better at that. Like if I drink water straight out. So if I drink it, it goes straight out. Like
okay.
I have to pee. Like if I drink this, I have to pee right away. You know what I'm saying?
It's a clear stream of
which is good for you, I guess.
Yeah,
it's good for you. Anytime you rinse the pipes, it's always
water and sleep. As you get older, man, you gotta work on that. Water.
In the world of sports, this is week 16. Everybody's pretty much done.
What in the football?
Yeah.
No, this is
week 16. No.
Yeah, it's week 16, but we still got 2 more weeks of more weeks of the regular season.
So who's surviving? Who's?
I'll tell you what. Baltimore played yesterday, and they got a rookie quarterback named Lamar Jackson who looks good.
Really?
He just looks good. He's
a fresh face. He's
fresh face, and he's a runner more so than he's a passer. So there's always this thing about can a running quarterback last in the NFL, and he's kind of like proven that you can design your offense around a running quarterback.
Well, I always thought they wanted to do that with like Cam Newton, like Cam. I always thought he was like the prototype for that.
Well, that's hard to say he's a prototype because Cam Newton's huge. He's like 6'6" and 270 and just all like rock solid.
Hey, gay as
dude.
a fucking.
You do. You think he's gay?
I think so.
Yeah.
Bye. I think him, like guys like him, Russell Westbrook, all these guys have like fixed marriages. Like hey, I got a wife and kids and
take some pictures with me. And
I mean, the guy wears spandex. Like, I guess fashion. I take that. I don't take it back.
He's a fashion fag.
Yeah. Because I mean, listen. You see Cam Newton at the press conference?
There's some goofy outfits.
Nice big hat. He got the nice big brim. He has a pink purple blazer on, spandex and moccasins.
I've seen that.
Spandex and a suit jacket. Like,
I've seen that.
What the fuck?
I've seen that. That's a goofy outfit.
But you fuck the kids up. Like with the kids, you fuck the kids up. That were like, yo man, I want to be Lawrence Taylor. I want to be. That's what they wear now.
Hey, I listen. I was the guy who said, when LeBron James had this suit with shorts on, I said, look, if you're wearing shorts with suits, you can suck a bag of dicks.
Even Dwayne Wade, the fucking knickers.
Yeah, that just doesn't. I don't get that.
Come on, man. Like
I don't get that, and I don't know if that's like a thing or if that's just like if you're doing it to be different.
To be different, right?
Or is that like where like high end fashion is going? Like wearing a nice sports jacket with some spandex. No socks and loafers, but
what happens is that when they see it, this is how you know the trendy. You see it on TV, and then you see it in the street, like immediately. Like some people go, oh, it's okay to do that. I have that exact same thing. Let me try it. You wear your fucking yoga pants with your suit jacket, and I think it really just confuses.
Well,
but who am I? You know what I mean?
Chicks are rocking the yoga pants a little bit too much because they're trying to they're making yourself look a little bit better than what you actually do. You know, I'm sorry. Some of you ladies are wearing yoga pants, wearing the fuck out of yoga. First of all, yoga pants give you like this false pretense of what you can actually fit and what you can actually get into. You know, because you can't have yoga pants and your belly's falling over the damn yoga pants.
Right.
Sorry. That just doesn't work. That just means you're upset because you can't fit in the goddamn pair of jeans.
You look like
Get yourself a damn pair of jeans that fit.
Yeah.
For Christ's sakes.
You look like the Hamburglar.
Right, exactly. You know. And I'm not a I can lose a few myself. Yeah, but at the same time I'm not gonna wear tight yoga pants all the time. You know, and rock the Lululemon shit and just didn't.
Well, the joke with the fellas is always you got your Despicable Me outfit on. You guys are wearing tight pants and you big up top. And, everybody looks like this. That's always the meme I see is like guys,
Well, what I see guys doing now is guys are for some reason the pants have gotten a little higher. Yeah. So I don't know if we're trying to show off socks or.
But now it's like I see guys with the high waters, no socks on.
Yeah, you see that in the summer a lot.
I'm seeing it now.
No, you can't see
it
now.
If
you're seeing it now, then that's another classification that can go suck bags
I saw
of
this
dicks.
fucking guy with no socks. He had high waters on, no socks, loafers, but he had a nice sport jacket and a scarf, and he looked like a regular guy. And so, what the fuck are you wearing? Like,
it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And don't tell me you're not cold.
Fucking tap dancing all day? What is this guy doing?
That, and for some reason, and I don't know, for some reason, every once in a while, you catch women in cold weather wearing open-toed shoes.
That's pretty fucked up.
I don't get that. I mean, I think you like...
Open-toe?
Yeah, no, open-toed shoes.
Guess. So like a dress shoe, right? I guess.
Well, yeah, a dress shoe, but it's 30 degrees outside. Yeah, so, I mean, come on, you're like setting yourself up for potential whoredom if that's what you're doing. Ooh. Now, yes, I mean, okay, maybe your wardrobe is limited.
Yeah.
Cash flow, and this is the only decent pair of shoes you got. Okay, fine. This is whatever.
Okay. But, open toes?
I just, no.
I stepped on a lady's foot one time.
Did you really?
In a Subway with my Timbs.
Did you scream?
I mangled this lady's foot.
Ooh.
To the point where she screamed and nothing came out. She just...
Ooh.
Lightning bolt went in her, and I'm sorry. She just looked at me and was like, I saw the pain in her eyes so bad. I was like, I'm going to go over here.
Oh, man.
It was horrible.
What was it, summertime? What was
summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Flip-flops?
She had a pair of flip-flops.
See, that's another fucking thing. Flip-flops don't... Oh, I hate fucking flip-flops.
Flip-flops.
That's another one. Okay, so we've classified things that can go suck back.
You're just about this far away from the dirt, from the ground.
Yes. Yeah, that's nothing.
Wear a sheet of paper on your foot.
Nothing. It's like I don't get flip-flops. I just don't get flip-flops to be worn like around the house.
Yeah.
In and out the shower.
Or pool. It's made for the pool.
Wear them around the pool. Hey, you're putzing around the house. Whatever. Even outside.
Slides are good. You don't like slides though. You don't like slides with socks.
I don't like anything but closed-toed shoes, and so I do have a pair of slide sandals, leather sandals that I kind of like. So stuff like that.
I wear the slides for like when I'm traveling. These are fucking great when you fucking just
No, that's come on. You're a professional.
Come on, this is a slide.
I understand that you're trying to be comfortable.
And it's got the gel
when you're on
inside.
No. You wear that with socks too, don't you?
Yeah, I'm wearing them with socks
now.
That's how you wear them.
Fucking up the culture, man.
This is the culture.
You know what that leads to? That leads to dudes wearing spandex with freaking sports jackets.
No.
When you're outside in flip flops and socks, going shopping and
No, that's a basketball thing. That's basketball all day long with guys with basketball shorts, t-shirt, socks, and slides. Fucking guys in LA used to wear the house shoes and they wear hush puppies and slippers outside. They the ones who fucked it up. Blame it on those guys.
I did see dudes wear house slippers.
Yeah,
that was like.
But like, I don't like the fucking pajama look either.
No, I don't.
The little Catholic
I hate
schoolgirls and the schoolgirls. Hey, it's cute. Look at the pajamas.
That's another thing I hate.
And then get back in your bed and crawl in your bed.
You see that on campus a lot, especially like around finals time, where all chicks wearing hats. Because they're not doing their hair.
Oh, yeah.
They're wearing hats and either pajamas or sweats.
A dad hat, a sweatshirt, and pajamas.
Yes.
And a pair of Uggs.
Yes.
And that's the fucking standard uniform.
And that's another thing. Uggs have gotten out of hand. Like, we slide them on, and they're just like... And they're...
Too comfortable. They're just comfortable.
It's too comfortable. It's too comfortable.
Right. And that's what happens. People get very comfortable, and they want to be comfortable, but... And sometimes you need to be uncomfortable to get things done, and
I think my style is a little bit classy, conservative with a splash. Maybe that's just me. I'm just one of those people.
What?
Well, maybe a splash of color.
Okay.
Maybe maybe just a small thing to indicate a sense of uniqueness.
You'll wear a fedora or something.
You know, or something, or maybe like something like a pocket square, a different colored pocket square, or something like that, or maybe maybe you do a suit. Maybe you do. I'm a fan of the small hood, so a suit, and underneath it you got like a small hoodie on. Yeah, something like that, like a shirt hood or something like that. You know.
Oddly enough, I'm not a fashionista. I sell clothes. No, but I never was a good dresser. I was never. In fact, a lot of my friends tease me all the time. It's like, dude, you dress like a bum. Like my wife tells me all the time, like, you go to fucking meetings talking about $40 million. You look like that. Fuck you, potty mouth.
Why do you look bad?
No, I clean. I know.
You clean up nice,
but I'm very much comfortable sometimes when I'm like, all right, I'm wearing a pair of jeans, Tim's, shirt, and throw a sweater on, and just But sometimes I will say that I look at other people and I go, I'm wearing the same exact thing he's wearing, and people look at me like, you dress like that, and I'm like, well, look.
This one is no different.
Everybody else is wearing the same fucking thing. It's a shirt, it's a pants, and it's just, I don't know. Sometimes I just have
sometimes it's a projection thing.
It is. Just like my eye. I went to my eye doctor yesterday, got my eye exam, and they changed the doctor because, not that I asked him to, but the other guy was like, it's like, damn, dude, you give me these shits? I'm like, I feel like the jerk with the thing on my nose. Like, but this guy comes in and I walk in, hey, doctor, how you doing? So I said, we don't have to pull my pants down or anything, right? And the guy goes, wait, what? He's like, what? Oh, you're fucking with me. And I was like, I'm fucking with you, doc. Good morning. Just seeing if you're awake. He was like, I like you. Hey. He says, you have to be serious every day. Nobody has a personality. Good man. Sit down in your chair. Let's see what's going on with your eyes. And it just broke the whole ice for the rest of the time.
See, that's what I love, little icebreakers like that. I love icebreakers like that. I went when the doctor I go see, my cardiologist, who I go see every once in a while, if he leaves me alone, I'm one of those guys, like, if you leave me alone in a doctor's office, I'm checking all the drawers and shit.
Mom used to do that.
I'm checking everything. My ankle was messed up. I saw an orthopedist and left me alone in there, and I saw these ACE bandages. I'm like, I could use a couple ACE bandages.
Listen, your mother that's where you get that from.
Yes,
you get
that from
Mom. Because Mom used to go, we'd be Mary Immaculate. That's why they closed now.
Because she got half the
stole
shit.
Everything. I was like, Mom, you don't need mercurochrome and iodine. What the fuck are you doing with this? Just go take these.
I check all
cotton
that
swabs.
shit.
She used to take everything in a fucking in
box of gloves. You can use a box of gloves.
Box of gloves goes well. We use those all the time. All our friends that work at the hospital are like, you bring a box of those gloves, the good ones.
So you ready for your eye exam?
Yeah, exactly. But
that'd be a good joke to say. Say, I went to the tell a friend. Say, hey, let me ask you a question. I went to the eye doctor and he said, pull your pants down. Is that supposed to happen?
So if you don't know, where you going? Did you pay? No. Did you pay extra?
No. Do you see that episode of? You ever see that episode of Family Guy, where Peter filed a rape charge against the doctor that gave him a prostate exam?
No. It sounds hilarious.
He wanted to give me a prostate exam, and then he stuck his fingers up my ass, and he ran out. And then there's Lois sitting there at the table, and then she just goes, fucking idiot.
Dude, Family Guy. That writing team is probably one of the best writing teams ever.
Because they probably don't filter anything. Like, you know how, like, if you have to put something down,
yeah,
you have the first thing that comes to your mind,
right,
and then you kind of like tailor it from there. I bet you the first thing that comes to their mind is say, "No, put that shit in there."
It's crazy because it's so rapid fire, and then to go animate it after, like I'm blown. I would love to sit in on that and see how they do it because I think it's brilliant. I mean, they you know, when you go back and they like that time when we went to this and they play it out. It's brilliant. I mean, and it's the same shit every time. You know, Roadhouse.
Right. It rewards you if you've been a long time. If you've watched for a long time, it rewards you with some of that older shit.
Does.
I don't know if they do the. I can't remember the last time they did the chicken when Peter had to fight the chicken, and when they do like a whole 3-minute segment
it's like
of him and the
Mortal
chicken
Kombat.
fight.
It's
Yeah.
like, ding, ding. But you know, I don't like the spin-offs. Like I don't like the fucking American Dad. Like the same vein of the illustration and stuff.
You know how American Dad came to be, right?
How?
So he basically.
It is the same guy, right? It is
Seth MacFarlane. Basically, Family Guy was pulled off the air because they said of all these issues they had. And the main issue was, the most vulgar one was, of course, Stewie, the baby.
Yeah.
You know. So they basically redid it, and now the vulgar ones are the alien and the fish.
Right. That's what.
So he basically redid the same thing over again, and so he put that out. But then there was such an outcry for Family Guy returning that the network put Family Guy back on. So now he had these two. Now he has these two shows.
Right. So if you want your fix this way, you get your fix that way.
And it's interesting. You ever see the Adult Swim versions?
No.
Where they pretty much don't edit it.
No.
You know, sometimes the ones you see on the network there's a little editing to it.
Oh, you got my money, Stewie.
Oh, that's always a great one.
He's fucking great. He's Brian is the fucking. He's a racist. These black guys. Like,
I'm sorry. When he attacked Dr. Dre.
Yo, that's hilarious, man. Like, I mean, for anybody to get their panties in a bunch over that, I mean, you got to be one fucked up, sensitive individual if you think Family Guy or Simpsons but you can remember the Simpsons was, Bart's pissing on people and he's vulgar. If you fell for that and believed that the orange character can,
right,
dude, you're fucked up. That's why I like that they're so far from subhuman or whatever it is. I mean,
right.
That it's almost a spoof. Like, relax.
You use them to basically say, "Hey, this is kind of silly."
Yeah,
and that's why we're showing it. Let's take a chill over what it is. Even South Park, some of the shit that they poke fun. What tripped me out about South Park is that they will go ahead and make. They didn't. I think they had a Scientology episode.
Black balls. Scientology.
And I think they pulled it.
Oh, really?
I think. I can't remember, but it's kind of fun. Remember when Isaac Hayes was on the show?
Yeah,
and he's a Scientologist.
Black balls.
And they did all these Christian jokes all the time, but then they started making fun of Scientology, and Isaac Hayes got a little upset. I was like, wait a minute, nigga, you got no problem making fun of Jesus and shit, but now on this shoot, so you gotta. But they'll make fun of anybody. Go see. Have you seen Book of Mormon?
Monty Python? Is that
on Broadway?
No,
the show Book of Mormon.
No,
that's hilarious. No. I don't know how much of a Broadway guy you are.
No,
and whatnot, but it's absolutely fucking
one every 10 years.
Hilarious.
I'll see it play every.
If you're gonna do one, do that.
Is it?
Do that. Yeah, it's worth. I mean, it's still gonna cost you a bunch because it still makes a bunch of money. But
it's the one with Kerry Washington. Everyone's talking about the Son, American Son.
American Son. Yeah. My wife saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said it was pretty good.
Yeah, everybody said it was good. Ernie said
it was good. It's not. It seems realistic and not ideological. So it kind of like presents itself as the issue itself and not, doesn't have like this kumbaya moment at the end.
Okay.
Kind of let you know that this is kind of like where we are.
Okay. Yeah, that's what you need sometimes. I mean, play is a play, right? It's supposed to be acted out and kind of.
Right.
You know what? Last I think it's shit. We saw Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I don't know. I think that was the last.
Oh,
play
classic.
we saw.
Tennessee Williams.
Yeah, but we saw the Denzel version.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yes, or Terrence Howard.
That's probably Terrence Howard.
It was Terrence Howard, Ashanti.
Ashanti's a shitty actress.
She was horrible.
She's horrible. She's great. I remember when I saw her in The Wiz, when she did The Wiz.
Oh yeah,
and I thought she was great in that when she was singing.
She could sing.
When she had to talk, it was like, please shut up. But singing, she's a phenomenal vocalist.
Yeah, she just did not. I don't know what it was. It was, I wasn't moved by it. For me, I have to cry. If you sing, if you make me cry, you can sing. If you can't make me cry, I'm not.
Well, some people just shouldn't try certain things. Like if you really want to sing a Whitney Houston song, you really need to like check yourself.
Yeah.
Because some people shouldn't be singing Whitney Houston songs.
Yeah, I just have certain frequencies that really,
hit you.
Turn the faucet on. Like at church, my church is, Tiffany. There's one singer there, Tiffany, and Keisha Williams, who one of the two biggest singers there.
Mm-hmm.
They hit me every time, and I go there and I'm like, freak, they're singing. I'm gonna start crying all over the place, and they could just hit that frequency where it's like.
So it's not the words; it's like the note.
Yeah, it's the note.
So they could sing "Row, row, row your boat," and you'd be.
If they could, they could freak it, man. Down the stream. No, I don't know. It's trigger. They're triggers. They're just things that just, I guess, do a neuro thing and.
Yeah, they hit something.
At some point I used to like be embarrassed, and then I was like, why? No, it's just purging. I'm just getting out some tears. It's great to cry.
You ever get emotional like for no reason?
Yes.
And like have to like stop what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you just for some reason all of a sudden something hits you, and you just.
Well, some people can't get out of that. That's
right.
That's the biggest thing with mental health, and a lot of guys that are self-diagnosing themselves and having their little episodes. But if you can't get out of that rut of and you can't. That's why I like jokes so much and things that make you laugh.
Add some levity.
Yeah, add some levity.
Levity.
All right, so what's going on for this week? We got a holiday. The kids are coming by. I think your daughter called me. Your daughter texted me and said she's coming by.
All right, cool.
I told her I'll pick her up from the train, or if she's coming from Brooklyn or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
I think Josh said he's coming by. Cook some food up.
Okay.
That turkey, man. Let's see what we're gonna do.
What time is dinner gonna be ready?
7.
Dinner's gonna be ready at 7.
Yeah, you want to sit down right at the minute and just.
It's gonna be tight because
come when you can, and then
no, we're gonna try to get here. We're gonna try to get here early.
Come here early, and then just hang out and
try to get early. And hang out, and then just.
I'll bring the bird out at 7. Okay. He will come walking out. If I don't fuck it up.
You're not gonna fuck it up.
No,
are you working that day? You're working on Christmas Eve?
So technically yes, but
okay.
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm gonna ghost myself there. You thought you saw me, didn't you,
That's
motherfuckers?
Right. Weren't you at? Nope.
No, it's nothing going on. All I could do is fucking take papers from this side and put them on that side. It's nothing to fucking do.
So you saw my hologram.
Yeah, it's nothing to fucking do. Trust me, there's no work going on. There's no projects imminent. I mean, there is a few things. I got the job down in Miami that I can't wait to finish. I hope it finishes soon. Maybe by February we'll be done. But other than that, it's a wrap.
Tis a wrap?
Yeah, tis a wrap. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. If
Enjoy
you're not in the
yourself
mood, get in the mood now. You ain't got no more
mood.
time.
Get in the mood. Put a smile on your face.
Definitely a giftless Christmas for me.
Say Merry Christmas to everybody. Yeah, but I gave my wife her present last night, yesterday. We that's kind of nasty thing to say.
I ain't giving shit.
Well, I mean, we went out, saw a show, dinner, and stuff like that. That was it.
So, I mean, these kids have everything they could possibly need. They don't want anything. They want a lot of shit, but they don't need
anything.
anything.
Shouldn't want for anything.
They don't need anything. It's nice to trade some gifts here and there, but, the gift of giving, gift of love. And
gift of time.
Get rid of all this shit. That'd be a great gift.
Get some space.
Space is exactly.
I need some space and some peace of mind.
Right. And some Coors Banquet beer. The Banquet beer. All right, everybody. Two Bros Podcast, episode 46. We're out of here.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Peace.